Welcome to the Waterloo Hotel Blackpool for the British Crown Green Bowls Association showpiece event, the Men's Champion of Champions.
32 competitors are competing today, 16 of which are individual county merit winners and 16 of the country's top tournament winners, one of which being 3 times champion Graham Wilson.
Total prize money today is £3,580 and the eventual winner will carry off £1,000 thanks to generous sponsorship from Beryl and Don Cook, who Lynn was speaking to earlier today.
Okay, with me I have one of the famous couples in the Crown Green Bowls, and that is Beryl and Don Cook. Good morning both.
Good morning.
Well, you are a famous couple and you put such a lot into the game of bowls, and indeed you're the sponsors of this superb tournament today. And you do a lot for the sport. You must love it. I know you both do.
We do.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of pleasure out of bowl. A lot of pleasure, and you just feel that if you can, you will put it back.
Absolutely.
You know, and we're in the fortunate position to be able to do that. So that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what we enjoy.
Lovely. Yeah.
We like meeting people like you as well.
Oh well, we like meeting people like you as well, because genuinely you are. You're excellent for the sport. And what a cracking lineup we have here. I mean, you've looked obviously at the programme. You know, have you picked a winner yet?
No. We're not betting people. We're working people. We work for what we have.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah.
And no condemnation.
No, that's right. Yep, absolutely.
He wouldn't for a penny in a slot machine.
So if you were a betting man, who would your money be on, Don? You've seen obviously the first few games this morning.
Well, it's difficult, isn't it? But Andy Sprague's playing well, and I think he's one of the favourites.
Yeah. And of course we have 3 times champion Graham Wilson as well.
Graham Wilson. Well, he bowled marvellously, didn't he? Last year.
That's right.
Magnificent.
Yeah.
He always bowls marvellous, even when he loses he bowls marvellous. There are some good names.
There is.
There's some one or two that I think could be a turn up for book, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, in addition to your generous sponsorship of the Champion of Champions, you've also obviously been a benefactor of Talking Bowls, being asked to purchase equipment to obviously produce some of the DVDs, one of which, Beryl, you have there.
I'm very pleased to have. The last one we had, it was excellent. We're really pleased. And we have lent it out to one or two people, Collins got it.
Excellent.
And they're very delighted with it. Yeah, very pleased.
I mean, what's your view, obviously in the absence of terrestrial television, obviously the internet screenings and the production of the DVDs is the closest thing we can get, perhaps, really.
Yeah.
But what's your view of what we've been doing this season?
Well, our view is the fact that we don't understand a lot of it then. That is the honest fact of it. We don't understand a lot of it. We only know to look at it, put the DVD on, look at it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You do all the hard work.
As each one comes out, though, there seems to be quite an improvement.
They do.
Yes.
It's certainly improving all the time.
That's perfectly true.
Yeah.
But as I say, you do all the brain work and the hard work. We just take the pleasure of it.
Good.
Yes.
Well, that's what we do it
True.
for, obviously, to give viewers and listeners, pleasure. It's it's.
Yes, I think you're doing a good job.
I do. It's done an excellent job. We're pleased. We're not feeling that. What have we done that for?
That's right. Good.
Because you can do that. You can sometimes we're a bit too far with that. But, because there's so many other things,
Absolutely.
So many other things that wanting this and wanting that.
That's right.
But then you're doing a great job.
Thank you.
To our mind, you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much.
We should be the first to tell you if you weren't.
Oh, I know you would. Yeah. These two, I'll tell you that they'll soon.
Not Yorkshire for you.
No, typical Yorkshire.
See, the thing is, as we are, we have to be able to say no, and it's never an easy job.
No.
But you've got to be strong enough to be able to say
That's right.
no. It's very rare we do. We've got to be strong. So therefore, we should tell you if you want to expect.
Yeah.
Should be the first to tell you.
Thank you. Well, obviously, on behalf of both Talking Bowls, 21 Up and Osprey Water Management, we thank you for your generous, donation to help these DVDs be produced. And obviously, thank you for your generous sponsorship of events like this, you know, and certainly without benefactors like you, the game would be a far worse place. So,
if you don't have sponsors, lots of these clubs just go by the wayside, you know, because I mean, we've got to uplift bowling anyway, haven't we, you know? But we do our best all, you know, and when do little people
but equally, sponsors have to be looked after, so I do hope that the BCGB, I'm sure they will look after you today. I'm
Yes,
sure
they do.
tea for me and a coffee for him, you know. We're not the world's greatest.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to speak to you both. I'm sure you want to, like me, go back and enjoy the bowls.
And the sunshine.
And the sunshine,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
it is. It's a lovely day, yeah. So
Wonderful sunshine.
it is, yeah. But from Beryl, Don, and myself, it's goodbye for now.
So we've reached the semi-final stage of the 2010 British Grand Green Champion and Champions. The first man through to the semi-finals is Michael Edridge from Staffordshire, recent winner of the Midland Masters tournament. Michael Edridge's semi-final opponent will be the 2006 Champion of Champions winner, Andrew Spragg from Derbyshire. Recently lost in the final of the All England Championship. Andrew is representing the Derbyshire merit in this tournament. And the second semi-final will be between Richard Jackson from South Yorkshire, who in his quarter-final just defeated Callum Wright 21-12. Richard Jackson in the semi-final will play Chris Mordew from Yorkshire, winner of this event in 2000, just defeated Noel Burrows 21-19 in the semi-final. We'll be back after this short break with full coverage of the semi-finals for the 2010 Champion of Champions.
With me I have John Jinks, Managing Director of Osprey Water Management. Good afternoon, John.
Hi Lynn, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, very well.
Good. Well, here we are. We're at our 7th and final screening of the competitions that we embarked on at the start of the season. And what an interesting year it's been.
Absolutely, it's nice to see that the sun's finally found us
Absolutely.
as well. Most of the year I think we'll be standing there with umbrellas and raincoats, but no, glorious day for it and a nice finish to the season.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, from your perspective, John, how do you think the competitions are gone? Have you been pleased with what's been going on?
Very much so, yeah. I think on the bowling side, obviously there's been an incredibly high standard. We weren't surprised by the standard, but it's been great to be involved at this level. I think the interest in the game is enormous. And I do believe that what yourself and Mel and Paul have done has increased the interest in the game dramatically. And I think you've obviously allowed access to a lot of people that may not have had access to these type of competitions and the finals to come along and have a look at it. Everywhere we go, people are talking about it, which is great. And from a company point of view, from a profile point of view, Osprey have benefited massively, which you know is a nice bonus.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely. Well, I think we have observed right from the very first competition that we did back in May to the very most recent one, the Waterloo, the standard actually of the production has got better, thankfully, and I think we've learned from every time. Definitely,
I think there's been a lot of changes backroom. And obviously we set off the year trying to do it one way.
Yeah.
Things changed, we had to do it another way. I know that the last Waterloo, when you had the 24/7 people involved, the standards went up again. Although saying that, I think we went back to grassroots at the Midland Masters, took out the camera again. Mel went up on his scaffold, and that's just as good, you know. And I think in its own way, and people are going to enjoy what they see. And I think the main thing is that it's come across very professional. I think people realise that as a project, it's been taken on board correctly, and the main thing, as I keep going back to, is the benefits of the game. I think it's enormous.
Yeah, good. And obviously we've been delighted to have had Osprey Water Management on board, and we've had some real fun times during the course of the season, haven't we? Which has been good. And I understand you have an important announcement for next season.
We've spoken with Mel. We've looked very closely at what we've done this year. We've been very, very pleased with the partnership agreement. And we've decided, if you'll have us, that we'd like to carry on supporting it to 2011, and we'd like to remain as the main sponsor.
Excellent.
That's on the understanding you'll have us.
Of course.
And it is all on the understanding that Paul is required to put together an outtakes video that he can sell to people as well from the season, because I believe there are some very, very entertaining outtakes this year.
There is. And
Although you may figure fairly highly as well.
we've had a couple of quite good outtakes this morning, in fact, so they'll probably be far more entertaining than some of the bowls, I would imagine. So.
I think obviously a lot of Mel's comments when he forgets the microphone's turned on will probably come across as well.
That's right. Yeah. Well, in the absence of Sue Barker or Gabby Logan, you're stuck with me, I'm afraid. So.
Far better.
Well, obviously that's excellent news that you've just heard from John in terms of Osprey Water Management's commitment to the 2011 season. And as a company, you've really grown very fond of the sport of bowls, haven't you, John? And do put a lot into the game.
Yeah, very much so. I think we put a lot in, but then we get a lot out of it. I mean, we spend a lot of time with bowling clubs, particularly in the Warwick and Worcester area, Shropshire areas, where we deal with sponsorship on the associations as well. From a business point of view, it's been great for us. From a personal point of view, it's a great community to be involved in.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody's very welcoming. We found it very easy to deal with everybody, and everywhere we go, people are friendly and great. You know, and it's a lovely, lovely environment to work in.
Yeah.
And long may it continue.
Absolutely. And obviously, as a company, it's important that you get some benefit because you've invested, substantial sums of money that, you needn't have done. You could have put it in other things, but you've supported Crown Green Bowls wholeheartedly. So it is pleasing. And obviously, if there is any clubs out there that are looking at irrigation systems, then I highly recommend this man here because he and his company are superb. So
I must admit, I don't do it single-handedly. There's a whole team behind me, but no, thank you for the kind words.
Pleasure. And certainly, obviously, on behalf of Mel, Paul and myself at Talking Bowls, we'd like to thank you for your company this year. It's been absolutely superb.
Thank you for having me.
Chief umbrella holder at the All England. And obviously we look forward to the 2011 season, and let's hope we go even one step better.
Yes, thank you very much.
Pleasure. It's back now to Mel, who's got coverage of the semi-finals.
So the semi-final of the 2010 British Crown Green Bowls Association Champion of Champions are now about to commence. First semi-final is between Michael Edwidge, winner of the Midland Masters from Staffordshire. To reach this stage he beat James Grimston 21-16, Matt Gilmore 21-20 and Wayne Ditchfield 21-13. Mike's opponent is the 2006 winner, Andrew Spragg, the winner of the Derbyshire Merit. He defeated Liam Howard 21-10, Gareth Gwillam 21-10 and Colin Kelly 21-14 to reach this stage of the event. The other semi-final will be between Chris Mordew from Yorkshire, winner of the West Bromwich Supporters Club CCF Open and the Portsea Classic. He defeated Scott Fisher 21-16, Anthony Bailey 21-14 and Greg Smith 21-16. And he will play Richard Jackson from South Yorkshire, winner of the Cleckheaton Sports Classic, who defeated Paul Emmons 21-5, Nick Tideswell 21-17 and Callum Wright 21-12 to reach this stage. Joining me in the commentary is one of the bowling legends, Roy Armstrong. Welcome, Roy.
Thank you, Mel.
Been a good day's play today.
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, the weather's been kind to us. It's always nice at the Waterloo when the sun shines, and the green's in pristine condition. Probably with quite a bit of the rain that's been falling this last week, a little bit holding, but I'm sure all the players will enjoy playing on it today.
Yeah, and Graham Hall, the greensman here, has done a tremendous job this year, hasn't he, Roy?
Oh yeah, it's historically, of course, the green always is at its best in the back end of the season when the spring handicap competitions played. Often it's had some treatment and it's had some virtue draining, so sometimes it's a little bit bumpy, but it's really in pristine condition this time of year.
We're with this first semi-final here. Sounds like a bit of an incident going on outside. There's a few alarms going off, ambulances. But we're with this first game here. It's Michael Edwidge winner of the Midland Masters. He just opens with a pair against Andrew Spragg. Now, how do you see this game, Roy?
Well, I think it's fair to say that to most people, probably not you, Mel, but to most people, Mick Ledwidge will be a surprise semi-finalist. Out of the group that he was in, he's done very well to come through it. So he's very much second favourite. The bookmakers have it that way. If you wanted to back Mick Ledwidge to win the competition, you could have 5-1. Andy Spragg is a very warm favourite at 5-4. And I think what it is, the bookmakers realise that Andy Spragg has played a lot of games on this green. He's played in competitions run by SL Sports, one of which starts next week. And Andy Spragg has featured in quite a lot of the finals, so he's massive experience on this green.
Yeah, Mike Ledwidge was the last qualifier for this event, Roy, just won the Midland Masters in Dudley last week. So it's been a busy week for Mike. He's not really been able to have any preparation. I don't think he's played in the Waterloo this year, not been on the green. As you say, he's done very well to get to this stage at the moment. He started well. And you say he would be a second favourite with Andrew?
Yeah, I think there's been quite a bit of money for Andrew Spragg, but the bookmakers will have had a good day today, I feel. Again, this competition usually has been a good event for the bookmakers over the years. They often get it right, and I think today, with the situation like some of the favourites like Graham Wilson and Gary Ellis and people like that going out, I think they'll have had a good day.
Andrew, of course, is a postman. He's got a bit of a unique delivery as well, hasn't he, Roy?
He has, yes. I think it's fair to say that he wouldn't want any young people to copy his style. It's most unusual. But he is very good at playing long lengths. You wouldn't think so with the way he delivers, but he's quite a powerful lad. And as you say, quite a unique style. But he gets his bowls on the road very well. And he's got a really good lead in that corner, only about 14 inches off.
Mike's a much slower player, studies every bowl. He'll never be rushed, because he's from my own club, as you know, Roy, from Chadmore.
Yeah, I think what Andy Spragg does in this corner, he plays finger peg in this corner, which is the most difficult peg. A lot of the players who play on the Waterloo regularly wouldn't actually come this peg, they'd probably play thumb peg. He's got two real good bowls there, he's got to be up and at them here.
The other game's just started with Chris Mordew won the jack. He's led out against Richard Jackson. But we'll stick with this game. Good effort there. Gone out. 2 to Spragg. He takes the 3-2 lead. What do you think Andrew's plan will be then, Roy?
Well, I think he'll go in the corner. I think from here he'll go up in the other corner. Maybe not right in it, but he'll go certainly a long way, because these corners are around about 58 yards, corner to corner. He's playing finger peg in this corner. He's got the jack right down the ridge here. The feature of this corner is you mustn't get too low. If you get too low, the ball won't come back.
It's been a good crowd here as well, Roy, today.
Excellent crowd, yeah. Again, historically they always get a good crowd for this event. People come from all over the country, and it's noticeable for its support from the Midlands area. From the Midlands they get coachloads of people coming, and often they get a coachload from Wales. So it's a real good day for everybody. I'm not sure a lot of the people see all the bowls. The pub does very well.
I think as well, there's time to prepare, isn't there? You know, most of these people qualified back in June and July, and you're able to arrange coaches to come and follow your teammates, aren't you?
Yeah, I think it has an end of season feel, and so it's rather like a celebration of the end of the season. Sometimes it's been a good season for people and not for others, but it's sort of the end of the bowling season and people want to make the most of it.
And have a weekend in Blackpool as well.
Absolutely.
It's a bit busy today, because the Blackburn Rovers are just half a mile down the road at Bloomfield Road today. We've heard a few noises from there. Now I know what's going on down there, Roy, but Michael Edridge's got one up North Pier and one down the South Pier, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, if you haven't got any experience on the green, playing in these corners, it's very, very difficult. It's difficult to find the length, especially today, because it's easy to be short, and then when you put it in, you're overplayed. Length is critical in these corners, and Andy will come back now. He'll come back finger peg in this corner, which, as I said before, is the most difficult peg. It'll be interesting to see whether Mick knows enough about the green to come the other peg.
Well, Mick has been a regular visitor to Waterloo over years, but I don't think he's been on the green this time. It's lovely to play on, Roy.
Yep.
I guess you'd sooner be down there than up here with me.
Well, those were the days.
Yeah.
This is a long way into this corner. It's from where they are on the opposite corner, where the footer is. It's a long, long way, all uphill into this corner. And there's 2 yards up.
Probably looks nearer from where they're standing from the footer. Should be deep. Did you play in this competition at all yourself, Roy?
I played in it 3 times, having qualified from winning the Veterans Championship. So unfortunately I was at the wrong stage of my career to do any good in it. I think one of the times I played in it, the green was flooded, so again that didn't particularly suit me. So I've never done really never got to any final stages in this competition, but it's a great thing to play in, of course, because you relish with the playing in front of such a large crowd, which are quite noisy.
And of course you've done a lot of betting here, running the book with Cliff Oak.
That's right, yes, we've...
to try and here.
Oh, really? What a good ball.
What a ball there. Well, they say they're becoming 50 yards and he's played a ball just 2 inches on the side. I think Andrew would have been counting that one normally. But I say Mick is really on form. He's had an excellent season. He's also won the Summit League averages this year. Only lost, I think, 4 games all season, which, as you know, Roy, that's not quite the Thomas Dowler's Manchester League standard, but it's certainly the strongest league, probably next to that in the country these days.
Yes, it wants some doing that. He has quite a unique style. He's got sort of a delayed delivery, hasn't he?
As well, he looks at the ground as he delivers it last minute. Yeah. He looks down, looking the way it goes.
Well, he's playing with some good bowls. You'll notice he's playing with 2 pound 12 ounce bowls, which is the size of balls that I always used to play with. I think it's an ideal weight if you can play with that sort of weight. Andy Sprague is 2 ounces less. He plays with 2 pound 10, which is actually in the modern game the most popular size that most fellas use.
And Mike plays with Thomas Dowlers, who of course you've worked for many years.
I had a very happy relationship with them, yes. I worked for 17 years for those people, a wonderful company to work for. In fact, I only retired last November and handed over to Graham Wilson, who's, I'm pleased to say, is doing a real good job for the company.
He's, like yourself, a good ambassador, isn't he, for the sport?
I think he is, yes. He's started off from being in manufacturing, and gradually he's got I spent about 4 or 5 months with him, showing him the way that I did it, but he's got his own unique style, but he's come into a really good sales representative.
He did some commentary with me on the one of the games for the Waterloo recently. He was saying how much business Thomas Dowlers are doing abroad these days with the flat green. It's nearly every country in the world playing that now.
Yes, flat green, of course, is played in 35 countries across the world, and it's mega in places like Australia and to a lesser extent New Zealand. But Australia, it's very, very big business, and I think last year we sent about 15,000 sets of coloured bowls down there, which are the big thing for the young people in Australia playing in that climate. But of course they have to have special bowls down there because a lot of the places that they play are very, very windy, and the wind definitely blows the bowls all over the place. So they play with extra heavyweight bowls down there.
He was saying that it's probably 90% of Taylor's business, flat green.
I didn't know that, so that's that. I know that it used to be about 82%, so it's It's grown. I know that the people there, they do like Crown Green Bowls. The managing director, Grant Heron, and the marketing director, Anne and Woolley, they come down to Waterloo. They love watching Crown Green because it has so much atmosphere to it with the betting and everything, which they don't have in the flat green.
And Michael Edridge played a good ball there. Andrew was trying to get back into those corners, Roy.
He certainly was, yeah, but he's picked out a good length there, which is critical. This bowl's just a bit narrowed, I think.
The other game with Chris Mordew and Richard Jackson's currently 2 across. And then Mike will be looking to make a double there. Needs to rest it. It's gone out the back. I'll be disappointed then. A bit of a shake of the head with Mike there. He knows he should have made another.
Yeah, it's very easy to get on the...
Get off a bit quicker than the other game and have 20 minutes for just relax and compose yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. You can have a little drink of coffee and sit and watch the other game and watch where they're playing. It can make a big difference. Once again, he's come this awkward peg in this corner. He's about 4 feet off here.
Again, Mike needs to be beating those sort of balls. In fact, that's probably the most room he's had, yeah, at this point.
I think that's won it.
Yeah. And just a dead length. By the Co-op funeral sign, right?
Ah.
There's a few dead ones played there.
Now then.
Well,
This is his chance.
no, I don't think Mike sent it short. Into poor ball. You say the sun's gone off it now as well, right?
Yeah, well, that depends what he does with the jack now. But at least there's something a little bit different with Andrew, because as we have said before, Andrew has such tremendous knowledge. Maybe going down the edge or something like that. Something a little bit different.
I think he might just go from this east stand perhaps across the green to the west. It's his sort of a mark Mick tends to play. Across the green or just off the crown. Probably 30-yard mark. And I think I got that one right, Roy.
Well, you know him well, don't you? Having played with him for so long, yeah. Well, easy to be short going up here.
Yeah, we noticed that in the Waterloo in the men's, a lot of short bowls are played across there, but of course the conditions are somewhat different to today.
Well, it's not short.
And they say reach to the sea or something, Roy, did that a saying?
Reach to the sea, I've not heard that one.
Yeah,
before.
that's what they say on there, across there, reach to the sea. Sun's reappeared.
Yeah.
And the ref was just indicating that Andrew Sprague's just got in. The semi-final, Chris Mordew just scored the last 2 ends. He's lengthened it into the corners. He favours the distance, Chris Mordew, don't he, Roy?
Yeah, I just noticed now, all the 4 players are all holding their hands up to their eyes, shielding their eyes from the sun. Can never understand why players don't wear a cap when it's like that.
You always did, didn't you?
I always did, yes, and I actually won quite a few matches playing into the sun. Just pull the neb down and you can make it very difficult for your opponent doing that, but I don't like seeing people holding their hands up to the...
Yeah, as you say, I noticed none of these have got a cap on. So, Sprague now 15-5. Having to think where to go, but I would have thought he's going to come back to this corner. No need to change anything just yet, Roy.
No, he's done so well in this corner, hasn't he, really? And Mick has struggled. Even when he's got in, he's only counted 1. Found it difficult to get 2.
Chris Mordew has now took a 7-6 lead and 6-2 down against Richard Jackson in the other semi. The referee standing right by the end there.
Yes, I know it's not an easy job, but sometimes these referees leave a lot to be desired. Sometimes they stand too far away and they have to rush to give a decision.
So you do a lot of refereeing yourself, Roy?
Well, yes, I've done quite a bit on the panel. You know, I've refereed there, and it's quite different on there because you have to advise the punters and the players every end. So you have to be in position to do that, and because I'll be refereeing next week when it's the SL Norbreck competition. I'll be refereeing for 5 days.
Mike's played a good ball there, yeah. He needed that one, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I gather you're off to Oceanic out in Portugal doing a bit of refereeing there?
Yes, I had the pleasure last October of refereeing the semi-final and final, which was very good. There were 2 fine players in the final, Graham Wilson and Gary Ellis, and yes, I'm very pleased to be able to do it again. I should be going there on October the 9th.
I'll see you over there. Might be a bit warmer than it is up here on the roof at the Waterloo. It's a great setting to play bowls there, isn't it, Roy?
Oh, it's a super complex. Yeah, everything about it is 5-star. It really is good.
Oh, Mick's really chopped the length down here, but again his lead bowl's just let him down. Gone through.
Yeah, he's gone for a straight mark here, about 26 yards, and the idea behind it was to try and play it, gone somewhere where he could play a good lead, but he hasn't done
Good,
it.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Seems a bit quiet from the football ground, Roy. Not heard anything. That's a good sign or a bad sign?
Well, Blackburn certainly don't score many goals, and maybe Blackpool don't, so it could be a 1-1.
We'll find out later and test out your judgment. Nice play there. Correction, 3 yard through with his first Braggy, dead length with his second. As you say, he knows the green very well.
Yeah, on that sort of length, you've got to be putting them within about 10 inches to count the end. You can't be playing them a yard off on a mark like that.
So it's 17-6 Spragg. And Chris Mordew continues his run in the other corners. 10-6, nice little late break.
He's caught Mick out again here. Again, from where they are on that position in the green, it's all uphill to this corner.
Well, there's room.
Yeah, he's giving them a chance. He's near as ball as he had off.
Oh, he's too big. Just overcompensated there. Andrew looking for 2. 1. 18-6. 3 shots away from Champion of Champions final.
Yeah, I'm afraid Mick has lost his length completely now. And it's going to be a real struggle now to get some for the papers, as we used to say, to make it more of a respectable score.
I know Mick will be very pleased to have got to this stage, and I spoke to him in the week. He was delighted to be here, but saying that it's not his favourite green. He's had a great deal of knowledge of it, but reached the semi-final, something he can be proud of, and he's still playing. Stranger things have happened from comebacks, haven't they, Roy?
Oh yeah. The more miracles happen at Crown Green Bowls than any other sport.
You was here for the Tommy Johnson and Glyn Cookson game, I guess. The Waterloo.
Yes, I was.
What a game that was. Was it 29 and Tommy was behind, went all round the green, back to 20 across.
He lay game, didn't he? He lay game with the ball about 2 feet off, and Glyn managed to hit the jar. Oh yeah, it's possible.
Now Spragg's running this up, Fat likes it. It's gone out. Now Mick Ledridge line one out.